Welcome to the Rise Above show with Patricia Joe Grover. My guest this time is Rich Trigger Bontrager, and I'm going to introduce him in just a minute. I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, 133 Approved Funding. They say yes when the bank says no. They are helping businesses keep their doors open, keep people employed, and for the people who have lost businesses and looking for a new way to create income, they are there to be able to help people get their businesses off the ground, as well as they provide financing for people who are looking to have services like myself and Rich provide. So it's like a student loan. So it's very interesting. If you'd like information, you can reach out to me. And let me tell you a little bit about my guest today. Now, Rich Trigger Bontrager has cheated death at least 3 times. He's defied the odds medically at birth, survived a severe fire accident at age 10, and more recently, he received a life-saving liver transplant. Trigger is he's commonly known, had a horrible stutter as a child, but has enjoyed a 30-year career as a sports broadcaster, talk show host, and a keynote speaker. Rich is the creator of the host of How to Rock the Virtual Stage. It's aired on C-Suite TV, and it's a part of C-Suite Network. And he also has his own Rock the Stage site. Rich is an expert on the virtual stage presentations and coaches top professionals on broadcast and stage skills to help them have a more significant impact on today's virtual platforms. Oh, so wonderful to have you with us, Rich.
Thanks to be here, Patty. Good to see you again.
Yeah, now is the time. Like I was saying to you earlier, this is the world is changing. People are retiring, or not retiring, but they're restating and changing, so shifting from jobs and careers and putting themselves into new experiences. So, and many of them are doing virtual presentations, podcasts, and the such. So wonderful to have you with us.
Well, thanks. And you're right. So many people are changing, and it's not even changing what they did, it's changing how they did it. So many are staying in the same career path, but they're not going back to the office. Some of them are expanding into being authors based on what they've done before, podcasting shows based on what they've known before. So one of the things you have to understand, Patty, going forward is we all have a media aspect to what we do going forward. Being a broadcaster for over 30 years, I know media. You do not know media. So that's where I come in to help you understand media to better help you achieve your goals and really rock it.
Oh, fantastic. So I have all kinds of questions for you, for our viewers and listeners, to help them get a better feel for what it is you do and how you can help them.
Fire away.
Okay. What are several key mistakes people make when they're trying to do a webinar or a virtual presentation?
One of the biggest mistakes is they don't know their own technology. Take time, back up, and keep it simple. People are buying so much gear right now, and I coach a lot of people that have bought the lights, the camera, the big microphones, the technical switchers that let you move from things to certain things. They spend all the money on that, and they're overwhelmed by it. And they forgot the number one thing, the very number one thing is you are the star of the show, not the technology. And they get overwhelmed and they wonder why they fumble and they bumble, why they get nervous and they don't look or sound well because they have all this other stuff going on. I tell them to start simple, work on your presentation, work on your voice, work on if it's on camera, your hand gestures, your body movement. If it's audio only, work on your storytelling, your interview skills. But please don't go crazy on all the toys until you have you ready to go first.
Oh, fantastic. Great tips. Another question. Isn't it really expensive to create a virtual stage or studio?
No, unless you do what I said in the first part and spend all the money then on the things someday you may want to upscale. But let's start with reality. You can get an inexpensive microphone, $30 to $50. You can get a good set of lights. Even just a ring light covers your face and lights you well. You can get the ring light for $50 or less. I have a lapel mic. I have a studio broadcast mic. I have one that goes over the ear. It was a bundle kit for over $150. You don't have to spend crazy on this. And even with green screens, if you're on the virtual side, there's different levels of green screen. I encourage you to get one that has a richer texture to it, not one of those cheap, flimsy ones that will fall down behind you. And so, but they're not that expensive unless you want to spend. You can go crazy with it. Start with your iPad. You can use your iPad really powerfully, plug in a microphone, and that's all you need. Don't spend what you don't have to.
Great. That's wonderful. And people don't realize, and it's good to hear from a professional on how to get set up. So how do you see the virtual stage impacting speakers in the community after the COVID-19, limitations are lifted?
So we are just now entering into the hybrid model of the new world. And some of us have already been playing this, but this is going to be new for every industry. So we all adjusted through pandemic. We learned how to use a Zoom box. Hopefully we got better at using the Zoom box. But now we are going back in person. I'm going to be traveling to Vegas, and they will be streaming the event in Vegas and providing a virtual component. Now, you can simply plug in the feed and have the feed speak for itself. Anybody, honestly, can do that. To turn into a hybrid virtual event, I'm really encouraging people to have an MC, someone who bridges the gap between the physical and the virtual, and you put them in between, they interact between the two worlds. Keep the text box active, keep the chat going, ask polls, questions, interview people, because every live event will have downtime. We've been there, Patty. We both know you have to set change, try new microphones, everything. Have that individual now interview somebody, either who just came off stage, someone coming on, someone later on. Fill the gap to keep the interactiveness and going. Basically, you're Ryan Seacrest from American Idol. That's really easy.
That sounds fantastic. I'm excited. I'd love to see that.
You're muted. I hate to say that, but you got to know your technology.
Yeah, actually, my dog was trying to bark, so I was trying to cover up. No, that is fantastic. I mean, with technology, and you being able to do the whole, like you said, like the Ryan Seacrest thing, and keeping it engaging, it's a new twist to things that wasn't available before.
Well, again, Hollywood's been doing this for years because we've seen the Emmys, we've seen the Oscars. Right. They've been showing us, we as entrepreneurs, business leaders have never even thought about this. How will you run your next retreat? Do you have to have everyone in the room? Can you make it interactive in a way that everyone in-house, out-house can all watch it together and feel like they're really part of the room? They're a way to actually have engaging polls and toys. Even as I present in Las Vegas, there will be part of this. Which crowd do you look to, Patty? Do you look to the camera that's streaming, or do you look to your live audience? Who do you play to going forward? What would be your answer, do you think?
Oh, I would say the live audience always. That's just me. But again, the learning how to work this curve of doing things virtually and, the hybrid mix. So what do? Do you have two different cameras that feed into,
you could do that.
That's technical stuff that I don't know. It's not in my lane.
Yeah, so you could have that. I'm recommending is that you have a virtual camera for your virtual crowd dead center, or take that raw feed. But you play to the camera first now, because usually at every presentation, they have a Jumbotron. They have TV monitors for the live crowd to watch you anyways. They've already been trained to look to the left, to look to the right, to look over your head from the back of the room.
Right.
But if you play to your in-person crowd only, the virtual will know they're lesser than. If you play to the virtual group first, they'll feel like I am right in the middle of the room. Because again, there's no back seats. Right. Remember, we've learned this through Zoom.
Right.
There are no back seats. We're all front and center. If you talk to those people like you're looking eyeball to eyeball, the rest of the crowd will have the same experience. So which one are you going to weight more? I would weight a little bit more on the virtual and let the physical go along with the ride that they're already going to have anyways.
Oh, fantastic tip. Thank you for that, Rich. Oh, goodness. So now, why do you believe that the virtual stage is even more ever expanding than ever before? Just the platform has such limited potential to impact the world.
Well, that's a great question. And the last time you and I talked, we touched base that we knew there were things being created. Here we are now. We're coming out. The hybrid is being born. New platforms are being birthed. There are new even almost holographic virtual interaction things that are being tested right now that I've interacted with the creators of. We're going that direction. We're looking at this as a small box. We're looking at this as a Zoom box. This is not a Zoom box. You need to change your mind and realize this is broadcast. This is TV. This is media. This is something you need to understand, that you now have to learn how to play to the media. And this is going to be an endless changing. Some of us are using virtual backdrops, and some of us are doing physical sets. The Mandalorian from Star Wars, by the way, let's just pick on that for a second. They have brought the physical and the virtual together by creating a 360 room. They can be any environment anywhere, and the actors get to see it in real time on the wall, not post-production.
Wow.
We have changed how the virtual and the physical are interacting to the point where that's going to come to our offices, our entertainment centers, our schools. Everyone will start experiencing this at a higher level. And again, one way or the other, it doesn't matter which way you go, but this will now be a part of everything we do going forward.
Oh, and it is so true. Ever-changing technology expands the world for all of us.
And it can change your business.
Right.
This is now, we went from handshakes to business cards to the big thing was, oh, you have to have a website. You have to have that. That's your new front door, Patty. This is now your new front door. This is the front door, and this is your virtual handshake or your virtual hug, depending if you're a hugger like me. But you can really make this so personal if you know how to do it. And if you don't, your revenue, your interaction, your client base, your employees will all drop off, and you'll wonder why you're hurting. You have to learn how to do this.
True. Oh, such great tips. So how helpful is your 30 years as a professional broadcast, with that experience, helping you and giving you knowledge on how to coach and understand the virtual stage?
Well, because it is media, this is where my 30 years is huge, because I've learned how my voice is my instrument. I've learned how to storytell. I've learned how again, you don't want to scream, but you want to be passionate. You want to have energy, but not what I tell people is that used car salesman, like flappy guy, and you drive down the road and the little arms going everywhere. You don't want to do that. Right. This is where the broadcasting that I've gone through has trained me for both audio and visual TV. This is where I can leverage my 30 years to help you get ahead of the curve quicker. We've all seen bad audio. We've all seen bad video. We've all seen where like the old Japanese movie and they don't sync up. Right. I can help you with all that type of stuff to know your quality and your expertise. Your presence helps. Again, just go back to the flappy arms. There's passive energy where you look like you're a cardboard cutout. Hi, welcome to my show, Patty. There's the, oh my goodness, hey, Patty, great to see you. This is unbelievable. Wow. Or there's the intentional where you know how to use it, where to talk. And you can't do this anymore. You can't go off camera.
Right.
So how you express, where you express, that's all the stuff from my broadcasting I help people with every day.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. So Rich, do you have any gifts for our viewers and listeners?
Sure, I do. Of course. Hey, if you want 30 minutes of free coaching, I will do 30 minutes of consultation. I want to know what your business is, what your goals are, what your dreams are, what you're doing well, what you're not doing well. I'll help you unpack it. And then I will give you some practical tips, 3 to 4 practical tips, not to overwhelm you, but at least get you going the right direction. I do have long-term coaching available as well, but that's a free call, and we'll have that information later on the post notes, I'm sure, right?
Yes, and I have to tell everybody, Rich is going to be one of the summit speakers for the July of 21 Rise Above Summit, and he is going to help us rock that stage because he is going to be actually in the he is going to be in the vocational dimension of life. He's speaking in there. So vocation is all about our career and how we create our incomes. So excited to have you speaking in the vocational dimension of life, Rich.
And if they come, I'm going to give them 5 virtual tips, the 5 E's to better rock their virtual presentation. So come and join us. It's going to be great.
Right. Fantastic. And for anyone who'd like to find out more about me, you can go to patriciajogrover.com. And if you text the word goal, GOAL, to 26786, I have gifts that will come right to your inbox. I want to take a moment again to thank our sponsors, 133 Approved Funding. Remember, they say yes when the bank says no. And I have a little video for you on our way out. Thanks for being with me, Rich.
Thanks for letting me be here. See you next time.